Okay, so reading with a sense of wow is as we go along and we read our informational text. If you discover something new that's new to you, or something that interests you, or something that was surprising in the text, in your journal you're going to write, "Wow, I never knew," and then write the new fact that you learned. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. So some things that we can think about is. Um, what's sinking in or what you feel like you missed at the end, okay? And that's going to help us determine the meaning of the story. And what does the meaning of the story kind of remind you of? Something that we've been doing.
Like the key details,
The key details, and what's one more thing that we've been doing?
the facts.
The facts, and then one more. Those are both correct, but we have one more that we're missing.
I don't know.
The main idea, right? So key details, facts, main idea, and then the meaning. So I think the meaning reminds me of main idea, right? Because that's kind of like what the story means, or it's trying to get across to us. So we're going to begin reading, and then after every paragraph, we're going to stop, and then you're going to tell me something that was either interesting, because if you're already learning about the Indians and the Europeans, you'll probably know most of these facts.
Not the Europeans.
Not the Europeans? Oh, great. So there might be some new things in here that you already know. I love that. I'm very excited then. So as we're reading, keep in mind when you read a paragraph something that you might want to write down for me, okay? All right, go ahead and start.
In 1614, an English explorer named John Smith sailed along the northeast coast of what is now the United States. Smith saw tall, thick forests and many bays and capes. A cape is a point of land that reaches out to the ocean. Smith named the land New England. Today, New England is made up of the states of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont.
All right, let's stop there. Is there anything new that you learned after reading that paragraph?
No.
You knew all those facts?
No.
No. So what's something new that you learned?
I don't know.
You don't know. Do we need to reread the paragraph?
No.
We don't need to reread the paragraph. So if I'm going to ask you to pull a new piece of information out of the paragraph, what would it be?
Connecticut.
Connecticut. What about Connecticut?
That's one of the New Englands.
It's one of the New England?
It's part of the New England.
It's part of New England. Who discovered New England?
John Smith.
John Smith. Awesome. So in our notebook, we're going to start by writing, "Wow, I never knew," and then what you learned about Connecticut being a part of New England.
Okay.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so grab a marker for me. I kind of like it how we're starting with, "Wow, I never knew," because that's kind of fun and exciting, right? I never knew. And then what was the fact that we decided that we were going to write down?
This font doesn't look so good, and so looks like Are you serious? You really so really don't go into the basement just because you can? Stay out just because it might be dangerous. Yeah, come on.
All right, so can you reread your sentence for me?
I never knew that John Smith discovered New England.
All right, I like that. Can you add a wow before your sentence? Just for fun, right? That's what our strategy is called. Wow, I never knew. All right, perfect. Let's move on to the second sentence, yeah? Or the second paragraph.
John Smith told others about the land he had seen 6 years later until a small boat sailed along the same coast in the boat were about a dozen people they were looking for a good place to build a new settlement.
All right. Anything new out of there? Interesting? How about something that's interesting to you?
That they needed to find a good place to make a new settlement.
All right. Do you want to write that? Starting with wow, I never knew. Did you know that fact?
Yeah.
You did know that? Awesome.
When an enemy comes closer, then 4 feet towards my final speed. Watch out first.
All right. Do you want to reread what you just wrote for me?
Wow, I never knew that they need to find a good place for a new settlement.
All right. And next time when we write our interesting fact, do you think that you could give it one space so I can tell the different paragraphs that we read through? Great, thank you. All right, next paragraph. I like how this is going, Matthew. You're doing great.
One of the people on the boat, probably a man named Edward Winslow, wrote about the adventure name. The seas were grown so great that we were much troubled and in great danger. Yet by God's mercy, recovering ourselves, we had the flood with us and struck to harbor. A harbor is a place where ships can dock safely.
All right, how about from this paragraph, something that you never knew? Would you mind telling me out loud before you start writing it so we can talk about it together?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to reread this paragraph for me? It sounds like we're having trouble remembering today. Maybe because yesterday was Halloween, huh?
One of the people on the boat, probably a man named Edward Winslow, wrote about the adventure. The seas were grown so great that much were troubled and in great danger. Yet by God's mercy, recovering ourselves, we had the flood with us and struck into the harbor. A harbor is a place where ships can dock safely.
All right. Anything that stands out to you?
A harbor is where ships can dock safely.
I love that. So, starting our sentence with wow, I never knew. And then that awesome fact that we just learned. And it looks like that harbor is highlighted, so that's a nice vocabulary word that you just learned, right? Because we're writing down our interesting fact. Got 2 in 1. Awesome. All right, it looks like we get to turn the page.
At home in a new land, the harbors that the boat entered was Plymouth Bay, in present-day Massachusetts. After exploring the land nearby, Winslow and the others returned to the larger ship that carried them across the Atlantic Ocean from England. They quickly gave good news to people waiting on board the Mayflower. Plymouth Bay was deep enough for ships. Better still, there was fresh water, land for farming, and trees for building homes.
All right, anything in that paragraph?
There was fresh water in Plymouth Bay.
Love that. That's a great one. I didn't know that either. That's probably something that they were looking for, right? If you're trying to find somewhere to live. Great job. Okay.
The people who came on the Mayflower are now called pilgrims because they made a long journey for religious reasons. In England, the pilgrims were not allowed to follow their own religion. Over time, they decided to make their own colony. In North America, a colony is a settlement started by people who leave their own country to live in another land.
Right.
A colony is where other people leave their home country to live in another country.
A colony is where people leave. Is that what you said?
To their own country.
A colony is where people leave to their own country. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Does that look like what's in the book that we just read?
A colony is a settlement started by people who leave their own land, their own country to live in another land.
Okay. Does what you're writing look like what's in the textbook?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we start the sentence where it describes what a colony is that what you're saying what a colony is in your journal?
Yeah.
Would you want to reread what you said for me?
I'm not done.
You're not done? Okay. Okay. All right. Do you want to?
Wow, I never knew that a colony is when a settlement that leaves their own land to live in another land.
When a settlement leaves?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the textbook it says when a settlement is a colony is a settlement started by people that left.
Oh,
So do you think a settlement is the people or? What's a settlement?
it's like a home.
It's like a home. So settlement is a colony, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think a colony would leave to start another colony, right? Is there any way that we can reword what we wrote in our journal?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you like how that you wrote is when a colony that leaves their own land to live in another land?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can leave it then. All right, let's move on to another paragraph.
Life in a new colony was hard for the pilgrims. They had little food during the first winter. More than half of them died.